Here with Ken Adkins, Victoria's head coach of the Independence Patriots. Ken, first game back in West Virginia after a long week at Myrtle Beach. What I want to start off with is the Bats came in ready to go with the first inning, 6-0 lead. Never really looked back. So talk about being able to settle in, because I mean you guys have been off for a couple of days for the most part.
We have. We cut them loose Saturday. We played Friday down there, a doubleheader. Got on the winning side of things. Really did not play that poorly at Myrtle Beach. Gave up a couple big innings in some games. Had a couple games with some errors and just untimely things. And we really hit the ball well. The pitching was not dominant. We handled all that well. Just really rolled over on a bunch of pitches. We had one game where I think we had 8 or 9 just ground balls to the infield. That we just hadn't done that before. So we came back yesterday, focused on getting back to what we do, trying to get good pitches, make good pitch selection, and play good defense. The last game down there, we beat Buckhannon Upshur, no errors, and so that was a big goal for this. Come in, play a clean ball game, because I really feel like when we play clean, we got enough hitting, we're going to win most games. And so, and we had just been annihilating the ball. And then, like I said, we got a couple of people in the order that just kind of went south a little bit. And I think it's just pushing, Booth's a freshman. She's just tries too hard sometimes. So, but came back. They really bought into what we said, came back and had a good day today. She pitched really well. She finished that beach trip up down there on a good note. So I was glad to see her get off to a good start. Got 3 regional games this week. So this one, Midland Trail, and Mingo Central Friday. So we'll try to get those. The goal was to go 3-0 this week, and if we do that, it really puts us in the driver's seat in the regional.
You talked about it with Booth. Obviously, you guys have a lot of hitting. You're trying to settle in, and find an arm, or at least a couple arms, get some consistency out of it. And I thought you saw today. They were a state tournament team. They have a lot of pieces back from that team that went to the state tournament last year, and a lot of swings and misses. I think 5 of the first 6 outs were on strikeouts. So
and I think she struck out 10 or 11 today. So really a good day for her. And we're, part of that whole dynamic with pitchers is I have 2 new ones. So you're trying to learn what they are comfortable with and what situations, what pitches they like in certain situations. They're trying to figure me out what I'm looking to do, how we attack batters. And so the beach was great for that. We got a lot of innings played down there. And so that really helps. And we always feel like when we come back to the beach, no matter what the result is down there, we really come back and, I don't know, the kids are just a little tighter knit, seem to play a little harder and more together. And so I'm excited. So we'll see what happens.
Now, obviously, Jenna hits another home run today. I think you had joked last year in the sectional, or it was still sectionals back then, right? Yeah, in the sectional championship, you were like, I thought about just not pitching to her again, and it got to that point. Right. Now you're on the opposite side of it, where she's just hitting bomb after bomb, where she might break Kaylin's record by the time May rolls around.
Yes, I sat down with her, and I'm not sure if it was you or Dave or Rusty that I told this, but we sat down with her when she came, and I said, listen, we owned you because you wanted to succeed so bad. And she felt like she had to carry a lot of that load, she and Peyton Rabin both. And so I said, you don't have to do that here. You can just go up there and relax in, get good pitches to hit, and if they walk you, just take the walk. But I said, you cannot let someone like me dictate your at-bats to you by not giving you pitches to hit. And so she's bought into that, hook, line, and sinker. And so far, that's been the remedy. And it wasn't anything about the swing or anything. It was just the approach at the plate and not pressing, feeling like you got to be the one every time. And so we started her way down in the lineup and kind of let her start to get her swings. And I said to the other coaches, listen, she was batting 900 or something. I said, you got to put her in that 4 hole. And we were kind of concerned that people might start trying to pitch around her, but we have enough behind her that seems to be, people haven't tried that yet, so we'll see.
You have an interesting perspective on the transfer. First off, you did it with your kids where,
Right.
transferring from school over. And then you have the two kids that they transferred, I guess, technically when they were underclassmen in
Right.
Jenna and Peyton. And I think Peyton Brem has been the same way.
Right.
Kind of one of my theories about this, the way they've done the new transfer rule with you can do it in your first 2 years, is that puts a lot of pressure now on coaches to succeed. Because even if you look outside of your program,
Right.
the Will Height kid, Brady
Right.
Williams, almost all these kids that transfer, especially in the spring sports, baseball and softball, were underclassmen.
Right.
Do you feel like that's kind of the case? Like that puts more pressure on coaches to succeed early?
I think it puts pressure on you to have a successful program, because kids are trying to decide now in the 7th grade where they're going to high school. And so, and now it'll be more than ever. We've got kids in our own program at Independence. They're trying to decide whether they're going to, be coming to Independence, or going to Shady. And now you have lots of other things involved. These other schools in the southern part of the state, you got Wyoming East, a great basketball school. You got Shady's, a great volleyball school. So, kids have to make decisions about that. We just hope that we provide a good enough opportunity in softball that, that we have those kids that want to come there. But I'm never going to criticize anyone who does what they think is best for their kid. It's how I came here. So I can never say anything about that. I've been fortunate in the last couple of years to gain from it, but sooner or later I will lose from it as well.
Gotcha. Thank you, Ken.